Hi Scorpio, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com, and this is your monthly forecast for December 2015. We've already reached the end of the year, Scorpios, and what a ride 2015 has been. We're beginning the month, or rather ending the year, with a fantastic grand trine that is there amongst all the fire signs, that is Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, and this is coming and activating a part of your chart that speaks about your sense of self-worth. It speaks about your earned money, and this has been quite active for you, and it carries on being active for you, this particular part of the chart, for the next 2 years, because Saturn is there for you as well over here. Now in this particular house, it is all about your own possessions, your own ability to earn money. It's your earned income. It's lesser of other people's money. It's more about you. It is how it is that you are using your resources to generate that money for yourself, and also it is how it is that you stick to your convictions while doing so. Now the entire focus over here for you when this chart gets activated is all about your sense of self-worth, Scorpio. So there is just going to be this added a boost in your self-esteem. You're going to be feeling very good about yourself, Scorpios. It's just going to be this sense of wellness, a sense of being I would say arrived in life, really, but there is a lot of clarity as to where it is that you're going. So there's just going to be a sense of some form of a enhanced self, wherein that you are going to be valuing yourself more. Scorpios, a lot of focus is going to be there on your possessions, as to how it is that you identify yourself with your possessions. And for some of you, however, it's going to be, if there has been a lack and it's been a strive to generate that money for yourself, or it can be a job. Maybe some of you are in between jobs, some of you are maybe working, but it's not generating that kind of money that you are used to, or it's used to supporting a kind of a lifestyle. Your sense of self-worth is going to be taking a beating around this time. You're going to be very closely identifying your ability to earn money, and how it is that you perceive yourself through the eyes of money. So Scorpio is really there is a lot of focus for you in this house as well. There has been for the last 6 months, and again for the next 2 years or so. This lesson is going to get repeated for you, is not to identify yourself with the ability to earn your money, or even irrespective of how much is it that you have in your bank. Try not to sort of associate yourself too closely and feel that, oh, if there is less money, then I'm not good enough. Or on the other hand, if you have plenty, don't let that sort of go to your head and say, oh, I am this and I know what I can do. So disassociate the money bit of it and the sense of self-worth. On the 12th of December, we have we have Venus that is going to be entering your own sign. And this is an extremely powerful aspect, because it makes you far more social and outgoing, and it will make you want to reach out to people. It's also a great time to be reaching out to new love relationships, and it's also great for strengthening the existing ones. Now Scorpios, the entire focus as we are ending the year is also all about on the house of self, what it is that you want for yourself, where it is that you're going, how it is that you perceive yourself, and how it is that you want the world at large to be perceiving you. Now the good thing is, because Venus is coming over here, Venus is going to be coming and softening that entire edge for you. And what it will do is that besides the superficial changes that get done during this time, so say if there is a appearance change that is there, or there is maybe a wardrobe change, some of you may just want to look very differently as to how it is that you're presenting yourself physically to the world outside. Now what this aspect will do for you is that if there have been certain patterns that have been there for you, so you could have been struggling, say for example, with a certain it can be, because a lot of focus on finances, it can be on a difficult relationship as well. You can break that pattern now during this phase as we ending the year. because it will come up all for inspection, and the control is there in your own hands, Scorpio. So the planets are giving you the opportunity to break that pattern and then to sort of not redo it in the similar way. There are more routes, Scorpios, that you can take. There's an alternate route. You don't have to necessarily keep walking or keep drawing a certain set of people to yourself, or maybe as far as even work is concerned and it's not been good for you, you don't have to keep going and trying to reinvent the wheel for yourself, especially when you know that, if there is, for example, been a history of pain as far as relationships are concerned, and you have been drawing a certain kind of people to yourself. Try not to do that again and become more self-aware. So more than the superficial changes that happen, there is an opportunity for you to be making these deep-seated changes as well. On 12th of December as well, we have Mars that is going to be highlighting the part of your chart that speaks about spirituality. It speaks about behind-the-scenes activities. It also speaks about hidden things. And Mars is in opposition with Uranus over here. And Uranus is there in your house of day-to-day chores and your health as well. Now, Mars is all about action. It's aggressive. It's going to be ending a lot of... you are going to be quite vocal about how it is that you really feel. And because it really has to do with the psyche, it has to do with spirituality, it has to do with everything that is really deep inside, Scorpios. So you can be speaking about things that are really, really, at the core, maybe something that's really hurting or something which is really... you have not spoken about it in a long time and now it needs to get aired. You need to be speaking about it. It's also a time because this is a house wherein that it has a lot of focus as to how it is as a child that you were treated, and or your relationship with your parents and that pattern that is there. So all that can also come on the surface, and you could be looking at all those things, and it can, whether you were agreeable or submissive as a child, were you rebellious as a child, and how it is now that you are dealing with life, or how it is that you're being with people around you. So there can be a lot of these patterns that come up for inspection over here. It's also a house of undoing in some ways, Scorpio. So don't get onto the self-destructive mode, Scorpios. Don't sort of be your own worst enemy, and or that mode, that to spite you, I'll cut my nose. Be careful about that, because irrespective of whatever it is that some of you could be going through, Scorpios, it is know that this month you really have the control in your hand to be redoing the things the way that you want them to do. So don't sort of go to pieces and undo stuff, and also largely a lot of responsibility of undoing it will lie in your hands. So keep that in mind, and sort of don't get onto that blame bit of it and say that, that person made me do so and so, and because of that person I'm doing this. It's a house of self-undoing. And also this house also is about hidden secrets. It's about, during this time, that we can have some skeletons coming out of our closet. So you have to be, it can be that something really comes out that you've not been wanting to speak about to anyone, and it really gets sort of comes out to light, and it could get little uncomfortable to deal with. So there are a lot of messy emotions, Scorpios, but I think the good thing is, because there a lot of focus is there in your own house of self, you have the control. You just have to exercise it, rather than sort of getting all negative about it. Now Uranus is there, it's opposing Uranus, and Uranus is the wild, erratic child of astrology, and he's there in your house of day-to-day chores and your health. So there just seems to be a lot of busyness over there, and it can be that either they could be, there's too much of work and you're just feeling extremely disorganized, or it can be that you're not able to sort of focus on things that really require detailed work. It's also time wherein that you should be taking care of your health, you should be taking care of your bodies as well. And this is a time wherein that your priorities are changing and you need to be going with the flow, Scorpios, because Uranus really asks for flexibility. It's unpredictable, it brings about changes. So don't sort of get too hung up and stuck about that. Oh no, I have to be living in this way and I can't be changing now. It'll just push you more and just bring more frustration. So stay fluid. If your day-to-day plans are not, or your life is seeming quite disorganized, or if you're not able to stick to a health schedule, it's quite all right. You'll get down to it, but of course, try and get back to it and try and sort of put a reminder for yourself. We have a full moon on Christmas, and it's happening in your house of career, reputation, and how it is that the society views you. And full moon is, it's normally far more emotional than the new moon is, because it's a culmination of something. It's when things really reach a fruition and they are ending. So it's a completion of sorts. When it can be that during this time a project has got completed. It can also be that for some of you, you're ending a job and you're moving on to another job. For some of you, you could have just joined a new place. You could have just finished the older project where you were, and you've just sort of it's like a fairly new job where you are. And it can also be that you are looking for attention as well, Scorpios, over here in this space. I think somewhere there is this need to be acknowledged, that need to be I would say really be the focus, but somewhere you are seeking that attention to be noticed. And also there is, it's a time also where you're going to be promoting yourself quite well. You're going to be looking at, either by involving yourself in activities at work, at being more social, being more networking more. You're going to be also be making an effort to be networking with who's who. You are going to be very conscious of the fact with whom it is that you are seen with. And Scorpios, I would say, are generally very good negotiators and very good social networkers, because for them it's important that they have a lot of friends, and friends who are generally doing well. There's really nothing wrong with it. We all have our own likes or dislikes, but for you it seems to be also a time wherein that there is also a sense of I think that the social status bit is going to be quite important, that you would want to be seen maybe at the right parties, get the invitations. But it's also, this is also something which will do you well, Scorpios. But don't just spread yourself too thin. If there are certain invites that you can get, say no to, do go ahead and say that, because there is a lot of focus on your, on your house of self and the house of spirituality. So I would suggest this month, just if you can go for a retreat, if you can do some meditation, if you can spend some quiet time introspecting, do that, rather than just sort of running around and trying to run away from the core issue, Scorpios. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Scorpios. I'll see you soon, and thank you so much for watching.